Welcome to Safe Again, a mind body soul reset for the depressed and tired. Module 5. Looking forward, even when you don't feel like it. Thanks for being here. Honestly, just showing up is a win, especially when your brain is telling you to stay under a blanket and avoid everything forever. My name's Julie, and I'll be guiding you through today's module. If you have any questions, feel free to hang on to them, and I'll answer them at the end. This is a safe space. That means camera on or off, sitting up or lying down, drinking tea, clutching a hot water bottle like a life raft, whatever works for you. No pressure, no performance, just take what you need. As a wise man once said, sometimes just getting up and facing the day is a heroic act. And if your brain tries to tell you this doesn't count as doing something, just remind it you're literally in a self-development workshop in your pajamas. That's peak efficiency. Let's begin. Module 5. Looking forward, even when you don't feel like it. There was once a girl who wanted to be a dancer, not just any dancer, a ballerina. As a kid, she'd close her eyes and imagine herself doing the splits, stretching her toes perfectly, spinning with grace and strength. She was pretty good. By the time she was a teenager, she could do moves that most only dreamed of. But then something changed. She stopped dreaming. She stopped visualizing. Suddenly, she wanted everything right now. Not the slow, patient walk of ballet, but boys to like her now. She wanted long, shiny hair, so she bought hair extensions, hoping it would change her look overnight. She wanted to eat now, talk now, be seen now. Instead of practicing, she spent hours scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, watching people live lives she wished she had. Meanwhile, ballerinas kept passing their exams, the students kept passing their tests, the girls who believed in their future kept improving their splits, even better than the girl who had stopped dreaming. She wanted money now, she wanted quick fixes now. And if you walk past King's Cross Station in Sydney early one morning, or if you see someone asleep on the street in Cabramatta, you might see her, the girl who stopped dreaming about a future. But here's the truth, that future isn't lost. It's still waiting, waiting for her, waiting for you to start dreaming again, to start moving towards a life you once imagined. Because every time you pause, scroll, or put your phone down, you have a choice. You can step back into the story you deserve to tell, and this module, it's about helping you find your way back to the future you can still build. Besides, if she waits any longer, her phone battery might die, and then what? Guess it's time to dance for real. Why am I even talking to you about this? 1. Because depression is more than just being tired. It's a complex experience, one that doesn't magically disappear after a nap. It's an emotional and mental weight that affects your self-worth and overall life experience. 2. Because healing requires more than waiting for it to go away. Depression doesn't just vanish on its own. It's important to actively address it through the right therapies and support, and this involves understanding how external circumstances like stress or life changes can make things worse. 3. Because you deserve a life where you don't just survive. Healing isn't about forcing positivity. It's about finding the small moments of relief and okay that gradually build up. You deserve a life where you feel like you again, not just one that's stuck in a constant cycle of buffering. 4. Because we're all vulnerable, the pandemic taught us how easily circumstances can overwhelm us, how connected anxiety and depression both truly are, and how the best of us can struggle to make decisions that help us heal. But it also showed how resilient people can be when they find meaning, purpose, and support through tough times. 5. Because it's time to rethink chemical imbalance. The outdated narrative that depression is caused by serotonin imbalance is being debunked. Recent research shows that depression's complexity is far beyond a simple chemical fix, and understanding this opens up new ways to address it more effectively. 6. Because you're not alone in this journey. So many of us have been conditioned to think of depression as something solely biological, but as we look at the new treatments and therapies, we see that there's room for growth, healing, and progress, no matter how difficult things may seem right now. And when you can create a compelling future, your life satisfaction will increase, because the act of envisioning something bigger and better for yourself sparks motivation, hope, and the drive to move forward. The power of foresight. Today, we're invited to embrace a profound transformation, a shift from the weight of the past, from the grip of depression, to the future brimming with healing, hope, and limitless possibilities. Depression can feel like a heavy anchor holding us to painful moments and limiting beliefs. It can keep us cycling through negativity, often blurring the light ahead. But here's the truth: the power shift is within you, and you deserve to experience a future full of vibrant energy, purpose, and joy. Research shows that those who orient themselves towards the future are more successful, healthier, and better at making empowered choices in life. As Torum 2017 and Yapko 2021 remind us, adopting a future-focused mindset is a sacred key to healing. By shifting our gaze forward, we release the grip of depression, stepping into a space where we are not only survivors but creators of a bright new reality. Focusing on the future isn't about denying the past, it's about honoring the lessons it holds, acknowledging the strength we've built, and choosing in this moment to rise. This mindset opens doors to better decisions, deeper fulfillment in our careers, financial stability, and a life that nourishes our body and soul. Zimbardo and Sword 2012 share that focusing on what's ahead nurtures our well-being, helping us unlock the power to design a deeper life full of abundance and peace. Remember, you're not defined by your past, you're defined by the beautiful path you choose to walk from here. The future you desire is already within reach, waiting for you to step into it. And hey, people with generalized anxiety disorder are often encouraged to focus on the present moment because, well, once they start thinking about the future, it's like their brain turns into a worry factory. But you, oh you're more than capable of staying present and creating a fabulous future. You've got this. The Wheel of Life with a spiritual touch. The Wheel of Life is your guide to creating balance and alignment in every area of your life. You are ready to shift from the weight of depression into the lightness of possibility and open yourself up to a fulfilling future. Here's how focusing on the future can help create a life of purpose and joy. Creative life, hobbies, fitness, fun, and recreation. Have you ever wondered how focusing on your passions and creativity could bring more joy into your life? By investing in hobbies or fitness, you not only heal but also connect with the essence of who you are, bringing fun and vitality back into your daily life. 2. Social environment and community. What would it be like if you surrounded yourself with a community that lifts you up and supports your journey? Focusing on the future helps you build relationships that are nurturing, creating a network of people who genuinely care for you and your well-being. 3. Love life, family and friends, partners and love. Do you believe that by focusing on the future, you could attract deeper connections in your love life and friendships? When you focus on what's ahead, you open your heart to relationships that nourish you, bring love, joy, and harmony into your life. 4. Life purpose. Can you imagine how aligning with your life's purpose could bring a sense of clarity and direction to everything you do? Focusing on the future helps you reconnect with your true calling, guiding you to live a life full of meaning and fulfillment. 5. Growth and learning. How might your life change if you embrace continuous growth and learning as part of your journey? Focusing on the future fuels your passion for personal development, helping you evolve and expand, becoming the best version of yourself. 6. Spirituality. What if turning into your spiritual self could create more peace, more alignment in your life? Looking forward opens the door to spiritual growth, bringing you closer to your higher self and aligning with the universal flow of life. 7. Business, life, money, finance. How might your financial life transform if you set clear intentions for the future? By focusing on your financial goals, you create a strong foundation for abundance and security. When you focus on the future, you can create a career that's not only successful, but also deeply satisfying and fulfilling. Using the Wheel of Life. The Wheel of Life is an invitation to reflect on these key areas and realign yourself with your higher purpose. Are you ready to shift your focus from the past and move towards a future that's filled with light, growth, and limitless possibility? Let's steer the wheel towards a future where you're fully aligned with your soul's desires. Major depressive disorder. Let's take this seriously. Major depressive disorder is real, it's serious, it deserves attention. But hey, it's not the end of the world. We're wrapping up our last module, so now's the time to take action if you haven't already. If you're dealing with depression, it's crucial to be under the care of a doctor or psychologist, psychiatrist, or any other expert you trust so you can heal quickly and correctly. Now, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is a superhero of treatments. It's short term, super effective, and can really turn things around in usually about 12 weeks. That's right, folks, 12 weeks, not 20 years on a therapist's couch, unless you really want to or feel that you need to. Imagine this 12 weeks of focus therapy where you learn the tools to lift yourself out of that emotional quicksand and get back to a life that's more you. And if you're thinking about going down the 20-year path of therapy, well, hey, it's a free world. But let's be real, you can get better with the right support and start thriving faster than you probably think. So here's a big message. With the right help, you can heal, you can feel better, and guess what? You can actually enjoy life again without needing to spend decades in a therapist's office. You've got this. Just make sure you've got the right team behind you. About me, I'm Julie, a certified clinical hypnotherapist, a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and a life coach. I work with the mind and subconscious mind to help you unlock your true potential. Visualization exercise, your compelling future. Let's try a quick, short visualization exercise so you can start to feel what a future-oriented person feels like. This is your moment to connect to the highest version of yourself. I invite you now to take a moment of stillness and connect to the deeper part of yourself. Close your eyes gently and take a slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe in, feel the energy of the universe filling you with light. As you breathe out, release any distractions. Let yourself sink into the present moment. Now imagine that you're holding your very own mobile phone in your hands. This is no ordinary phone. It's a spiritual portal that connects you to your higher self. As you look at the screen, you see a personal app. It's designed by your subconscious mind. It's a reflection of your true potential. This app is full of possibilities, and with every tap, swipe, it reveals a future full of growth, peace, and abundance. As you begin to swipe, you notice images that unfold. The first image you see is you, standing tall, thriving in your career, living out your purpose with confidence and fulfillment. Your subconscious mind has already planted the seeds of success, and this is the life it's guiding you toward. Swipe again and you see yourself radiating health and vitality, perhaps engaging in a favorite activity, moving with ease, feeling strong, energized as your body aligns with its highest desires. As you swipe once more, you see yourself surrounded by loving, supportive people, friends, family, partners, all connected through deep, joyful bonds. You are loved and you give love freely. With another swipe, you find yourself deeply connected to your life's purpose, filled with clarity, knowing each step you take brings you closer to your soul's calling. Next, there's an image of you calm and centered, at peace with yourself, taking time for mindfulness or a practice that brings you serenity, something your spirit craves. The final swipe shows you experience abundance and freedom, whether in your finances, your career, or personal life, knowing that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. Feel the emotions rise as you visualize each image, the joy, the peace, the gratitude, the excitement. These feelings are messages from your subconscious, confirming that this future is yours for the taking. Allow these images to sink in. Know that you have the power to shape your reality. Your subconscious mind is always working in your favor, helping to guide you towards a life that resonates with your soul's deepest desires. Take one final deep breath, and as you do, bring this energy, this vision, this clarity into the present. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying this compelling future with you. Trust that with every step you take, you're becoming the person your soul has always known you could be. Thank you for joining me in this beautiful moment of connection. Recognizing the patterns of depression. When you're feeling depressed, it's easy to fall into certain thinking patterns that keep you stuck in the past or overwhelmed by the present. These patterns can distort your perception and make it seem like things will never improve. But the first step towards healing is recognizing these patterns so you can begin to shift your thinking and start moving forward. Here are some common thought patterns that many people with depression experience. Global communication style. Everything in my life is falling apart. Stable attribution. This will never get better. Lack of compartmentalization. I can't separate my work problems from my personal life. It's all just one big mess. External locus of control. I don't have any control over what happens to me. Excessive rumination. I can't stop thinking about how much I've messed up. Cognitive distortions. I always fail, no matter how hard I try. Past orientation. I wish things were like they were before everything went wrong. Hopelessness or helplessness. There's no point even trying anymore. Internal self-referencing. It's all my fault this is happening. Recognizing these patterns is an important step in the journey to healing. They don't define you, and with the right support and tools, you can challenge these thoughts and replace them with more empowering beliefs. Depression may distort your reality, but you have the power to reframe it and take back control of your thoughts, emotions, and future. Healing is within your reach, and it begins simply by noticing where your mind tends to wander. But here's the good news to remind you, as Earl Nightingale says in The Stranger's Secret, the human mind is much like the farmer's land. The land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care what is planted. It's up to the farmer to decide. The mind, like the land, will return whatever you plant. If you plant corn, you get corn. If you plant nightshade, you get nightshade. It's the same with our minds. We can plant success or failure, good or evil, confusion or clarity, but what we plant is what we get back. In other words, your mind doesn't judge, it simply grows whatever you plant. Stepping into the future you haven't met yet. Before we wrap up, I'd love to invite you to a short guided hypnosis session. You don't need to close your eyes unless it feels right. Just allow yourself to tune out the outside world for a moment and gently turn inward. If you're not quite ready or it's not your thing, that's completely okay too. Just listening with an open heart can still be powerful. This track is called Stepping into the Future You Haven't Met Yet. It's designed to softly remind your nervous system that it's okay to relax, you're safe now, healing's already happening, the future holds light. So if you're in, let's begin. You might begin to wonder now whether your mind can drift, whether you can simply notice how even the heaviest thoughts can rest just for a moment. Maybe you're curious if a part of you still knows how to soften, even just the space in between breaths. Some people begin to ask themselves if the act of breathing can just happen without effort, as though your body already knows exactly what to do, without needing to be in charge of anything right now. You may not even know whether you've been holding your breath all day, or whether that sigh that just escaped was your nervous system finally remembering it's allowed to let go. There was someone once who couldn't even imagine brushing their teeth, let alone having hope. They joked that success meant changing their socks, and honestly, that was a big deal. But somehow from those socks a thread was pulled. Something began to unravel, maybe reweave itself. You might not need to know whether you're unraveling or reweaving, only that something is moving. Even if it's quiet, slow, uncertain, because people who have lost their future sometimes begin to wonder, what if the future doesn't need to be big right now? What if just one breath, one step between the bed and the fridge, even that can feel like a tiny victory parade? You can allow yourself to feel how strange it is that even in the numbness, the mind still makes jokes. The soul still whispers, the body still shows up somehow. You might find yourself wondering if this moment isn't about fixing anything, but simply allowing the not knowing, because something inside you still made room for this, still listening, still being here, and that something might know more than it lets on. And now, as this breath settles, You might begin to notice how even one breath of awareness can pause, where the weight of everything you've carried becomes just slightly more spacious, and in that pause, maybe something unexpected begins. Not a command, not a demand, but a quiet sense that there's still something else you could do with all this, even if you don't know what to do yet. Maybe you're just beginning to wonder what would happen if instead of surviving, you could begin to exercise into something softer, to move just a little into rhythm, to let that rhythm kind of dance, slow at first, strange even, but yours. And that dance becomes study of yourself, your habits, your patterns, the way light shifts through a window at 4 p.m., the way you can learn to grow into something new. And maybe, just maybe, you can imagine that on your phone right now, there's an app you didn't know was there, one that shows future memories, images of you 5 years from now, 30 years from now, versions of you who lived, who built, who laughed again, who failed, who got back up, who grew strong in ways that no one saw coming. And you can ask yourself now, if I say this to myself right now, what's the likely response? What if you said, I can move into that future? Would something in you nod or hesitate? And if it hesitates, that's okay. That hesitation is just another place to pause and choose. You might even begin to explore how depression has been not just a block, but a lens. And through that lens, you've seen pain, yes, but also insight, sharp, compassionate, honest. How else might I view this version of me, the one who endured? Because every time you move or choose or speak, you have a question in front of you. Do I proceed or pause? And that choice isn't about right or wrong. It's about what satisfies you. Is this compromise, compliance? Or does it actually feel like you? Like something deliberate and worth choosing? And maybe now you can let certain feelings step back for a moment, as if they're in another room, not gone, not erased, but not interfering either, while something else steps forward, your vision, your fire, your self-recognition, the part of you that whispers, look at you, choosing this moment, showing up, moving even slightly towards a self you haven't met yet. Maybe you're already starting to ask, what does this mean in other areas of my life? What if this moment becomes a map to other moments just like it, where you paused, future projected, chose with skill and kept walking? And what if you could start to imagine dancing through the house again, not for anyone else, just for you? Laughing until your belly aches, carrying large sums of money in both hands, maybe even dropping some, just from how full your life has become, sending donations to places you care about, smiling as you click send, inviting people in, people you haven't even met yet, friends who one day will cook with you, cry with you, walk lightly beside you, share silence in your kitchen and burst out laughing when you least expect it. And all of this, maybe you're also learning to notice, what if I say this? What happens? What if I do this? Where does it take me? And if I choose to wait, to pause, does it feel like power or something else? Because healing doesn't just apply here, across versions of you and you, yes, you. You're already proving that just by being here, just by taking this breath, just by beginning to live in your future is something you could actually enjoy. But let's be clear, your future can't happen if you just sit there all day. You know that. No one's coming to rescue you from your own inaction. And you don't need rescuing, you need movement, even a small one. Stand up, stretch, walk, breathe like you mean it, because no matter how dark it feels right now, you're not made to rot. You are made to rise. So now, as I invite you now to step into that future, the way your shoulders shift, your posture changes, your breath becomes steadier, calmer, deeper, Maybe there's even a trace of a smile, not because everything's fixed, but because something inside you knows you're moving again. And this time it's on purpose. And when you're ready, you can bring that feeling with you. So you gently open your eyes, bringing with you the clarity, the calm, and quiet sense of I'm doing this. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are. Thank you for being fully present, opening yourself up today. As you may already feel, this hypnosis session has gently guided you into a space of inner calm, a rare pause in the storm that depression can be. Sometimes healing doesn't come with fireworks. Sometimes it's just a quiet, maybe I'm okay right now, and that's more than enough. Today marks the completion of Module 5, looking forward even when you don't feel like it. A milestone in itself, especially when looking forward, feels like the emotional equivalent of dragging yourself through wet cement in oversized boots. I'm genuinely excited that you've completed all 5 modules. Module 1, understanding what's going on. Module 2, breaking the loop. Module 3, reclaiming control. Module 4, updating your inner voice. Module 5, looking forward even when you don't feel like it. And hey, if depression tries to convince you that you're not making progress, just remember you've listened to a whole hypnosis course and didn't throw your phone across the room. That's practically Olympic level emotional resilience. Let's keep going and maybe bring snacks. Congratulations on completing the full series. That's a huge achievement, and it means you've taken real intentional steps towards healing, even on the days it felt impossible. I hope you feel impressed, because I certainly am. Thank you for taking this brave step. If you'd like to explore this work more deeply, clinical hypnosis sessions are available through my website, or feel free to drop me a message anytime. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, even if life still feels a bit wobbly, you made it through all 5 modules without hurling a device out the window. That's elite level resilience right there.